Let's switch that up. What's going on, guys? What's going on, Beans? I'm gonna get this going. Let me give me some music. Making sure it's not too loud. Well, it's loud for me, though. All right, we're gonna get started on this. I'm a bit rusty. I haven't really looked at what I got going for the Luchador in a bit. Have been kind of stepping away a lot of like creative stuff, kind of dumping my efforts into other channel things. So what I want to do is kind of look over what we got going on before we jump into where we last left off, which was, I believe, trying to think where we last left off. It was the maneuvers, the signature moves. I want to be able to link you guys this in the chat, so give me 2 seconds to load up here on my side. I have my laptop right here. How's everybody doing this Friday? Today is an extra day off for me. And what I'm gonna try to do, so I can make sure that I get this class done and get it ready and gone, and I can actually work on it. Every other Friday, I tend to have the day off from work. So what I want to do is stream on a Friday for a few hours working on this. So hopefully that all works out. Oh, I'm hearing feedback. Guess my name. Hey, what's going on, man? Oh, thanks for stopping by. Yep. Okay, my laptop's being weird. All right, I'll be able to link this in a second. Laptop is kind of catching up. So, what do we got going for the Luchador right now? Let's see. In terms of where this is going to be a D10 martial class. With its proficiency bonus, you have no proficiency in armor, but we're proficient in improvised weapons. Also proficient with a disguise kit for tools, strength and con or saving throws, and then for skills, you can choose between athletics, acrobatics, history, intimidation, performance, and persuasion. And what's going on? What's going on, man? Let me pull it up. First from underleveled. What's going on? Why did I decide to make this a class versus a subclass? There's been a few out there that I've seen, and I've seen them do luchadors for a barbarian in an official print, or not an official print book like from WotC, but like a third-party book. But I've also seen people do luchadors for monks. But the thing about the luchador is that there's so much fantasy based around the mask that each mask can be its own subclass, and you take on the fantasy with it, which opens it up to a lot of different lore for different settings, and actually helps embed it into like Forgotten Realms and other stuff like that. So if you want a subclass based around dragons, boom, you have a Mask of the Dragon class. You want to play more of an evil luchador, boom, Mask of the Demons, Mask of the Devils, or just Mask of the Fiend, and you can flavor it however you need to. Mask of the Giant and stuff like that. So you can always embed it into the actual fantasy setting of D&D while still playing the role of a martial grappler that mainly focuses on single target control. So, and that was really the thing that decided, like, there's enough weight and enough flavor behind the identity of the mask, what it means to take on the mask when you are a luchador, is that you're calling upon the spirits, you're calling upon otherworldly beings to help you take on this persona and help you in combat. All right. Close my laptop, I hope. Yeah, because I want to be able to link you guys this so you guys can leave comments and stuff as we're going along. Equipment, we're just going to start with the Entertainer's Pack or Explorer's Pack, and then you get a mask and a disguise kit. Or you can buy your own equipment here. For multi-classing, this is going to be a strength and charisma based class, similar to the paladin. That's going to be that. Excuse me. Had lunch before doing this. And the thing is, last time we left off, we have all of our features done for the class. So I'm going to jump into it. So Lucha Libre is the first feature. You gain the following benefits while you're unarmed or wielding only improvised weapons and aren't wearing armor or wielding a shield. So you could roll a d6 in place of the normal damage of your unarmed strike or improvised weapon if the attack damage die is lower. When you successfully grapple a hostile creature on your turn, you can make an attack with an unarmed strike or improvised weapon as a bonus action. You have a climbing speed equal to your movement speed, and standing up from prone only costs you 5 feet of movement. So this is like your main bread and butter feature, similar to kind of like the martial arts feature for the monk. This is kind of similar to that. I thought about opening up so you can do a dex based thing. The reason I went with strength and it was to make it not as complicated, because a lot of the athletic maneuvers you need to do as a luchador in 5th edition, it's strength based. So if you look at it, jumping, grappling, all of that is dependent on your strength. Well, everybody assumes that level of athleticism would lend itself to dex. Built into the actual system, it's all strength based. Originally, I know when I started it off, I wanted to do like, oh, you can go strength or dex, and then you have to do charisma. But the more as I developed it, the more I realized, well, why rewrite all the rules into this so that you could just do a dex build? When it just makes sense if the rules are already saying, hey, all this fun athletic stuff is strength based, then this probably should be a strength class. Plus, we don't need dex to get more love. They get a lot of love in this edition. Let's see. All right, so yeah, that's the main thing. And then after that, you get Showstopper. So at first level, you have a natural magnetism that draws the attention of those around you. Whenever you make a charisma check, you gain the bonus to the check equal to your strength modifier. So just in case you really have kind of a bad or low strength, or excuse me, low charisma, this will help you really overcome those charisma checks. Then you got unarmored defense. So this is where our new AC calculation is. So at the beginning at first level, when you're wearing no armor and not wielding a shield, your AC is equal to 10 plus your strength modifier plus your charisma modifier. We're doing something a little different here. I know people are like, well, what about dex? But this is one of those things that it plays more into your stats a little bit more, and it does something a little bit different. So also makes you less mad. So far there really hasn't been any change that has made that different for us. The way I see it is that it's your charisma is like your force of will, and then strength is your ability to actually take a hit. Okay. And then momentum. So this is our second level feature. This is like the big resource feature for the class. So when you roll for initiative at the end of each of your turns in combat where you attack, grapple, or shoved a creature, you gain a momentum die, which is a d6. The maximum number of momentum die you can have at a time is equal to your proficiency bonus. When you have a momentum die, you can reduce any bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage taken by your luchador level. You also lose all unexpended momentum die when you are knocked unconscious, become incapacitated, or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn, or taken damage since then. So this is very similar to the Barbarian Rage in a way, but it's a resource that reinforces and wants you to keep doing what you're meant to do with this class, which is to grapple, shove, and attack. So this is really what it wants you to do, to reinforces it, and then by having at least a momentum die, you're reducing damage to yourself, and it's just the physical damage. Hey, what's going on, Phil? What is going on? So, but momentum die is a resource meant to you gain it. So at first, our second level, right, we're going to be gaining 2 momentum die pretty much one turn after the other. You can stock only up to that, meaning you want to also spend these 2. So what do we spend them on? We spend them on signature moves. So at second level, you draw upon the energy of those around you, left in awe from your combat performance, building momentum that you further channel into your attacks. You can expend momentum die to fill your signature moves. Signature moves, you learn 2 signature moves of your choice. You can use only 1 signature move per turn. You learn additional signature moves of your choice at 7th, 10th, and 15th levels. Whenever you gain a level in this class, you can replace 1 signature move you know with a different one. And then saving throws for your signature moves. The DC is equal to 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength modifier. We probably want to change the name of this a little bit, maybe code it something easier. But yeah, it's pretty much that. And then that's what we're going to be working on today. We'll get into what we have set out right now. And then at third level, this is where our persona kicks in, our subclass features and subclass. And then also at third level, we get reversal. So whenever a creature forces you to make a contest, I cannot speak. So also kind of like sidetrack because I want to link. I'm gonna put a link in the chat right now. Finally got it. My laptop's been a little slow because I actually haven't turned it on and the battery's been. So I'm gonna copy the link. So and then I'm gonna post it in the chat and then I'll go into what reversal is right now. Okay. So if you guys want to follow along on your computer or you want to leave comments as we develop, it's right there in the chat for you guys. Boom. So, okay. So, reversal. So, this is going to be similar to the monk able to throw, like, ranged attacks back at people, or ranged, weapons. But this is specifically for being grappled or shoved. So, whenever a creature forces you to make a contested check against being grappled or shoved, and you win the contest, you can choose to grapple or shove the creature instead. No action required. You must be able to grapple or shove the target creature yourself. So yeah. So this is a fun one, and it really depends because then like there's certain creatures that automatically just grapple you, or they have features like a bulls and can attempt to shove you, and this would be a fun way to kind of like turn it on them in a different way. That's the thing. The punches do not scale there right now. They're only a D6, but that is because of signature moves. So signature moves are also D6 die. So it's similar to the way I see it. It's going to be the damage is similar scaling to a rogue sneak attack damage. So you're going to be adding extra D6s to either a grapple, a shove, or a punch. Or pretty much an unarmed strike, or even an improvised weapon. So if you want to go full on hardcore mode and just beat up people with a steel chair, you're going to be able to do that too. All right, and then at fourth level, you get Rapido, which you can use the dash action as a bonus action while you aren't grappled by a creature. Also, you have the advantage on dexterity saving throws against harmful effects that you can see or hear. And then this upgrades at 9th level, unless pretty much you can only grapple one creature. If you're not, it doesn't work. But as long as you're grappling with a single creature, dragging, carrying a creature you're grappling does not have your movement. Then at 5th, we get extra attack. And then also we get smack talk. And then shout out to, excuse me, my eye is itching right now. And a shout out to Taryn for this one because it was like a taunt like feature that he and I believe Phil, I might be misspeaking on that one. He and Phil were working on for a spell. And then, yeah, he threw it my way and we tweaked it and messed with it even more. Kind of fit within the Luchador. I'm calling my signature move 6 will die. Oh, man. Yeah. So what this does is, As a bonus action, against a target that's within 30 feet of you, they must make a wisdom saving throw against your signature move DC, or they're goaded to attack you. So it's like all the other taunt moves that we were kind of seeing in 5th edition right now. They have disadvantage on attack rolls against any other creature but us. This taunt ends early if the compelled creature cannot see you, or if they are, or either you or the compelled creature die. If you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack before using the bonus action on the same turn, the creature has disadvantage on the saving throw. So yeah, there's that one. That was a fun way to kind of be able to get a character. Because originally the idea, I think what I had, and when I pitched it was like, oh, what if we give it just a Vicious Mockery? That was the idea, Vicious Mockery to the Luchador. It'd be funny. But I was like, oh, but this is kind of like a tanky-ish sort of character. We want it to be able to kind of lock down a single creature. And that's when Tyrion pitched this one. Then Muy Fuerte. Starting at 6th level, your unarmed strikes and damage dealt with improvised weapons count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage. In addition to this, you count as a size larger when grappling and shoving creatures. Just a straight damage buff. And then, but also, you can start grappling creatures that are bigger than you, a lot bigger than you. So already, I believe we can grapple. Well, I gotta remember the grappling rules. Probably misspeaking, but I think before this, you can only grapple the same and lower, and maybe larger. Now, yeah, no, and this now allows you to grapple larger, I think. And then later on, I think it upgrades again. Start of the round, beginning at 7th, the thrill of combat excites you, propelled to jump right into the fray. You can add your charisma modifier to your initiative. So for those that were afraid that, oh, if we're not really going to be dex based, we're going to be a little bit slow to act, well, 7th level comes around. This helps boost that up a bit. And then we also start generating resources automatically. So for momentum, so from the get-go, you can actually start using your signature moves. So when you roll initiative, you start with 2 momentum die instead of 1. You gain an additional momentum die this way at 10th level and 1 more at 5th level. So yeah, so this helps out and helps generating enough momentum that you can use from the get-go. The only thing is, I'm still unsure how momentum is really going to play out and work. And that's one of those things that I'm interested in seeing how that one plays, because another idea for mine is to actually go a bit less resource heavy and move some of the ideas that I had for subclasses, move some of those ideas into like the core class, so the subclasses focus more on the flavor of the mask and not necessarily a certain wrestling style. So we're going to play with some of these ideas later. High Flyer, so finally this is a way for us to get scale and get additional damage for trying to jump off stuff. Getting an advantage for actually attacking from the air. So beginning at 11th level, you are adept at attacking from great heights. If you jump before attacking your creature, you take no falling damage from the jump, and the attack deals an extra 1d6 bludgeoning damage for every 5 feet you fell before making the attack. It takes this damage regardless if you make a melee attack, shove, or grapple. So yeah, so the cool thing is this is meant to work off or work with signature moves. This is what the original intention was, because certain signature moves, like you want to fly off the top rope and somehow Hurricane Rana or DDT somebody. That's what this helps to do and builds extra damage on it. So it gives you a better incentive to find ways to actually get this going. So there's that. Si se puede, you can use your momentum die to keep you in the midst of the fight. If you drop to 0 hit points while you have momentum die and don't die outright, you can expend 1 momentum die to drop to 1 hit point instead. Each time you use this feature after the first, the amount of momentum die needs to go up by 1. When you finish a short or long rest, the amount of momentum die needed resets back to 1. This was inspired more like a kick out, that you actually can't like the 1, 2, 3 count, and this is like, okay, well, you kick out on 1 and then it gets harder if they try to do it again and you kick out on 2. So that's what this was inspired by. So the longer you drop, when you keep dropping the 0 and you do this, it's going to cost you more momentum die, to the point where you'll get to a point, if this constantly happens, that you're not going to have enough momentum die to actually recover, because your momentum die is always capped. And then there's Valiente, starting at 14th level. Your daring actions have made you fearless in the face of danger. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed and frightened effects. Basic buff, but it's kind of needed for a class like this. It's going to be on the front lines and targeting a single creature. It's a good chance spellcasters and stuff could try to shut it down, or other creatures that don't like being grappled have features and abilities that will shut you down immediately. So this is kind of goes after that. And then Lucha Might, 18th level. Whenever you make a strength check, you can treat d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10. This is just to kind of reinforce like how badass you become, that it's hard for you to fail at doing what you want to do. And then King of the Ring, this is your main one, your capstone. At 20th level, your prowess is unmatched. When you roll for an issue, you begin with a max amount of hit momentum die. So you just get all the beans, you get it all, and then you can just go ham and kind of splurge out. So yeah, so this is where we're at. We're at signature moves. So the last time, and I'm trying to remember, each move is going to be coded in a way so that subclasses can interact with them, is what I originally had intention. And then instead of gating moves by level, I wanted to gate moves by momentum die. So you can pick up a high level momentum die high momentum die ability, but if you don't have the momentum die to spend to use it, well, you're picked wrong. So yeah, so that's how I wanted to do it too. So I'm trying to remember. Holds were going to be pretty much your typical grapples. These are going to be like your sleeper hold, your arm bar, your leg lock, figure four, all that stuff. That's what's going to be under holds. Strikes is pretty much anything that's just that's going to reinforce it, like a special kind of melee attack. They don't grapple, they don't shove, they don't do anything like that. They just, like, you want to do a haymaker, a lariat, a headbutt. That's what's going to be more of a strike. Slams are pretty much grapple shove features or abilities. So this is where you're going to see like I believe your power bomb, your DDT, your Hurricane Rana, stuff like that. That's where I see is like, yep, you're kind of slamming people down. I believe we wanted one more, and I don't remember what exactly was going to be the name for it, but it was I think it was going to be more for high flying maneuvers, and I don't remember what it was. And we actually had a name for it, and I didn't, and we didn't write it down, and it's been so long that I completely forgot. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, one thing I was worried about, since we are after making the decision for the AC to not really focus on decks at all, I was like, well, this guy might be a little too slow, and part of the myth and feel of luchas is that they need to be faster. Like they do, some of them are actually quick, but that quickness isn't necessarily based off full-on speed. It's kind of based off of their just general athleticism. So then it makes sense. So we need something that at least boosts their initiative. And then yeah, the capstone. Originally, I tried to pitch a little bit more to give it a little. I think it was too much, and then feedback from folks, especially from Indestructible Boy, was to rein it in a bit. Excuse me, rein it in a bit, because I had watched some Tekken 7 videos, and specifically with King, and with like his ultimate, and what you can do with it is like chain grapples and body slams and stuff together until you just do some weird like death drop power bomb thing that he does, like backbreaker. I forgot what it was. It was gross. It was super gross. So yeah, so I was like, oh, what if you're allowed to do multiple grapples or multiple signature moves at the same time, like in a turn? So instead of just doing one, you can do two. You just, just do that. You can do two and chain them together. But no, we reined it in and we're just like, nah, because you're gonna be able to kind of just spend it, and that might be too much extra damage. Because the thing about signature moves, the amount of momentum die you need to spend, or like they're gated by, they're required. That's how many extra d6s you're rolling. Oh man, I want to say it was aerial. It's an aerial. I forgot there is an actual term for these kind of hold on, I'm trying to. Okay, they're called aerials, so didn't realize that. Leave. Fast. Organize this. Okay. Oh, thanks, man. All right. We'll see you soon. Okay, so yeah. So what I want for aerials is gonna be, these are kind of like more acrobatic high flyer techniques. That's what they're meant to do. So stuff like, I could probably move ideas like, I don't know. I don't know. What can I move to stuff like this? Like moonsault? Frog splash, Hurricane Rana. This is what I would, yeah, let's see. Aerial? Hurricane Rana. That's why, yeah, we're gonna have to look at some. I'm not sure if that's gonna be needed. Okay, so let's go. I want to go over like what we actually have right now. Trying to think. Cameraman. Like, trying to think. I'm gonna highlight this. I'm not really sure. So clothesline, it's a strike move. If you move at least 10 feet straight towards a creature and then you hit it with an unarmed strike on the same turn, you can expend and roll a momentum die. The creature takes damage equal to the amount rolled. They must make a strength saving throw against your DC. If they fail, they are knocked prone. This might be one or two. I can see this being one. Good. High flying wrestling moves. Oh. Swanton Bomb. I think that's actually trademarked, so we can't really use that. Mm-hmm. Trying to think. I'm wondering. I'm already thinking subclasses. If the high fire base subclass also could somehow like specialize in using certain features or certain one of these as high flying moves. There is certain like elbow drop is. Do we have an elbow drop? I have it as a strike. Elbow drop. Elbow drop. I'm tempted to make that a an aerial move. Excuse me. I got sleepy all of a sudden. Professional aerial techniques. Okay, we're gonna go to wiki. We're gonna get some inspo. You guys can. Okay. Diving chops, diving clothesline, double axe handle, diving drops, diving leg drop, shooting moonsault, shooting star. Forgot. There's a. What is shooting star? I remember shooting star press. Shooting star press. The hell does this look like? Lucha Libre wrestling boots. Alright, guys. Oh man. Rock splash. Yes. Moonsault. Frog splash. Splash. Corkscrew. We're gonna put Frog Splash on here. Okay. So let's go Frog Splash. Probably organize these better. I should add modifiers. What do you mean? What modifiers for what exactly? Yeah, I'm gonna add. We're gonna add Frog Splash. And then we're gonna add Corkscrew. Trying to think, because Corkscrew, Frog Splash, Hurricane Rana can be done anywhere because you can do it like kind of standing. I'm wondering if certain ones there should be a requirement to be from a height elevation. You know what I mean? I actually have the Lucha Wiki. Lucha Wiki right here on the side right now. Okay. Plancha is a crossbody block. That probably should be an aerial. Let me. I'm watching something here on the side. I just want to see. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I know what a Sentin. I was like, what the hell is this? Okay. We're gonna be adding Sentin. Probably saying it wrong. Corkscrew, and then oh my god, there's another thing. I don't remember. I had it, and then I'm dumb. Okay, Plancha, I'm gonna change. It's not gonna be a strike. That should be a aerial move too. Where you at, bruh? Where are you at? Dropkick? No. No. DDT, backbreaker, Hurricane, Plancha. We'll make this an aerial. And then we need. Thing is, we have a bunch of these ideas on here. It's just we need to I need to figure out. Hey, thanks for stopping by, bud. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm gonna get done on this one, but yeah, these. What I'm thinking is like some of these might just be like we might have these ideas on her, but they might not be necessary, if you get what I'm understanding. because they all kind of do similar stuff. It's just they visually look different. So corkscrew, your body twists in a way, and then pretty much you use your body as a weapon, twist it, and they hit them. But then there's a version called corkscrew senton, or senton, that it's pretty much that, and it ends up you twist your body away and you hit them with your back. So we can probably get rid of corkscrew and just put this, and you kind of flavor it however you want. Oh, Yoda, you just had me think of another idea, and this would rework the entire class, and I wouldn't want to do that. Too much work already has been done. But it's like instead of maybe if it's the other system I thought about, right? So another idea, if momentum doesn't work. If momentum doesn't work and we find out it's too clunky of a system or too clunky of a resource and it's just not easy to grasp compared to other stuff. Because the general idea behind momentum is the more you do something, you're gaining energy, you're gaining points that you could spend to continue to do what you're supposed to do. To modify what you're already doing to add extra flavor on top of it, extra damage, extra status effects, whatever. And the idea stems from World of Warcraft. If you guys ever played that, and it's the rogue class, they do combos. So the more they do certain things in a sequence, in a combo, they build points which they can eventually spend on a finisher or a payoff move. That was the general idea, and for me it's like, oh, that makes sense for kind of a wrestler. You're kind of working this person to kind of build up this momentum. You're building up the hype of the crowd, and then boom, you can lead up to this finisher. Easier to track and easier to deal with in a computer game or any sort of game. Might not be as easy to track on a tabletop game, or especially with 5th edition and how everybody's used to playing 5th edition in a certain way. With other resources, it's just kind of you having all these points and you need to spend them already, and you just kind of manage that. This one is the opposite. You need to build up your points to spend them. The other idea, though, is like to remove that system 100%, and instead of coding or making it that subclasses, and these subclass ideas I have here are going to be geared towards certain wrestling styles. You have that as a fighting style option in the core class. And what that would do is that, yes, as a base lucha, you all may be playing a luchador, but one's going to be like has the fighting style that improves their ability with high flying moves. Another one, they just want to be the more of a grappler or somebody that does a lot of submissions. Okay, you have a fighting style that improves when you do that kind of stuff. Makes it easier to deal with that kind of stuff. And Drunken Yoda, you just gave me the idea. It's like, well, okay, well, if you were to do that system, there's no really need for a resource system at all. The signature moves would be all gated behind level requirement, like any other 5th edition class. And the amount of times you can use them would be gated behind proficiency bonus per long rest. But then you can add another layer on top of that now that you mentioned that, and it's like, okay, we can keep it simple, have a set of maneuvers that are coded in a way, but if you want to alter them, that's where you're gonna have like points you can do that. It kind of be like kind of be too much though, but it kind of reminds me of how sorcerers can meta magic options are. Pretty much you're building a martial spell list, and then you have this meta magic like option that allows you to alter them, which will give you the similar modifier. That's how I'm thinking about it. It's like, oh, it's a corkscrew senton. You want a elbow drop, but from the top rope, bam. I don't know. Excuse me. I have no idea. Something we can revisit. Right now, I really want to see if we can get momentum to work. And if momentum just works, people it are easy to grasp it. How it's going to be able to work, then hell yeah. Then we're just going to stick with it. But yeah, now that's something to consider. And maybe if I don't use it, don't use that idea now. Maybe after I get this done and I have the will to work on another class, then yeah, maybe use that idea elsewhere. Okay, give me a sec. Seeing some messages. Oh. Okay. So, let's see what we got. Trying to think. Yeah, like I want to work on stuff, but I'm not gonna lie, I do have a little bit of a creative block on like how we can work on, like, do certain stuff. So this stream might just be more of a revisiting, sort of get us back in the groove and explain what I want to do. And then maybe next stream, which will be like in 2 weeks, we actually get some real stuff done. So, ow. Okay, clothesline. I'm thinking 1 or 2. We'll just set it to 1 momentum. If you have at least 10, lead straight towards a creature and then hit it with an unarmed strike on the same turn, you can expand and roll a momentum die. The creature takes damage equal to the amount rolled. They must make a strength saving throw against your signature move DC. If they fail, they are knocked prone. We'll just do 1 momentum die now. This is kind of hold on. Okay. We'll play safe. Do 2. Because I'm thinking 2. Subclasses will be able to manipulate or interact with certain strikes that they're going to be better at doing, meaning they can lower the cost of momentum die or any adverse effects that would happen for using that certain style of move. Will be negated. Or for using that certain style of move, they do more damage, etc. But the thing is, not all subclasses are going to be interacting with in a way that benefits using these. So like the bad guy subclass, pretty much the answer to going maskless, like an Oathbreaker, I guess, for a Luchador would be the maskless, and that was going to be full on hardcore. You don't have a mask, you're just kind of the bad guy, and your focus is going to be on using improvised weapons, chairs, ladders, spikes, whatever you can get your hand on. You just fight dirty. Trying to think. And my laptop is not having it today. Okay. Okay, clothesline. You move at least 10 feet straight towards a creature. When then hit it with an unarmed striker on the same turn, you can expand and roll a momentum die. The creature takes damage equal. They must... Okay, I need to roll. I need to... Dang, too bad I don't have... I need to keep a second. Too bad I don't have... Oh, 20 though. Like, I don't have a digital online resource. No, we have really, like, well, functional D20. Hoping to get... Really hoping to get D&D Beyond soon. What I want to look at for D20 is how the word on 5th edition, the Battle Master's maneuver features when they do additional damage. So, maneuvers. Yeah, it is. There it is. Creature strike. You can expend a minimum die. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, hold on, I'll pull these up. What I'm looking for is the wording. So I want to clean some of these up right now so that they're a lot clearer, because they're kind of just written in like... I want to say they're kind of written like they're magic cards. There's just sort of magic speak when it comes to it. Oh. So. Get on the side right here. There we go. If the attack hits, add this. Yeah, that's the wording I'm looking for. If you move at least 10 feet, and I'm trying to think, what's... I need to look at a monster stat. It's the bull. Because there's oh, right. Thank you. I just got a message on the side. Thank you for that. I will set that up later for this. Get access to that stuff so we can use D&D Beyond for a little bit. I don't know, Phil, you know, there's a creatures that do this sort of same effect. I think it's like bulls and minotaurs and stuff. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Steven. Yeah. I'll set that up later before the next character building stream. Or it's not character building stream, next Luchador stream. Thank you. Trying to... I have... I don't even remember what I have here. Let's see. Tools? Okay, let's back that up, bro. Okay, here, let's go compendium. Trying to think. Minotaurs. Do Minotaurs have this still? I don't remember, like, Monsters of Multiverse sitting right here. Did Minotaurs get reprinted in there? Trying to think. I know there's a monster. Bull? Was it a bull? Not a bullywug. Minotaur. Minotaur. I have access. Okay, here we go. I just need to see the monster trait charge. If the Minotaur moves in at least a straightforward target and then hits it with a core attack on the same turn. Boom, there it is. Okay. If you move at least 10 feet straight towards a creature and then hit it with an unarmed strike on the same turn, you can expand and roll a momentum die and add the roll to the result to the damage roll. To the attack's damage. There we go. Super what's senior? Sure. Dismiss. Yeah. That sounds so much cleaner. We have it set strikes, holds. Organize it. Crap. Come on. Okay, there it is. So yeah, if you move at least 10 feet straight towards a creature and then hit it with an unarmed strike on the turn, you can expend and roll a momentum die and add the roll to the result of the attack's damage roll. Add the result to the attack's damage roll. That sounds cleaner, but there's a lot of commas and ands. So hold on, let me see how Battlemaster handles this a little bit. Maneuvers, please. Boom. Okay. Right. That still might need to be able to be cleaned up, so I'm gonna highlight this. This can definitely get cleaned up. If you move at least 10 feet straight towards a creature and then hit it with an unarmed strike on the same turn, you can expend and roll a momentum die and add the result to the attack's damage roll. If the attack hits, add Add the momentum. There it goes. If you move at least 10 feet straight towards a creature and then make an attack with an unarmed strike on the same turn, you can expend 2 momentum die. If the attack hits, add the momentum die to the attack's damage roll. They must make a strength saving throw against your signature move DC, and if they fail, they are knocked prone. I think that's a lot cleaner. It reads a lot nicer. Excuse me. And right now, we're just having this cost 2 momentum die. To be safe, but I could see this being brought down to 1. I need to get a better chair. This thing starts to sink. Or I need to move this in a way that it lowers a little. Too hot. It should be dice with a pillow, that's true. Venom dice. You can expend 2 momentum dice. If the attack hits, add the momentum dice to the attack's damage roll. They must make a strength saving throw against your signature DC. The creature make a strength saving throw against your signature move DC. If they fail, they are knocked prone. Boom. Let's move on to Lariat. If you move at least 20 feet straight towards a creature that you can grab or shove and then hit it with an unarmed strike on the same turn, oh, okay, that's funny. Okay, so oh man, why am I so tired? Oh my god, I should not be this tired, guys. Sorry. I slept in. I went to sleep earlier than I planned on it, and now I'm yawning like crazy. Okay, so this is going to be very, very similar to this, except Lariat on the other hand, if you move at least 20 feet towards a creature, shove, and then make it spend 4 momentum dice. Constitution saving throw. Of your next turn, right? Okay. Boom. Okay. Picking that one up. I believe this one was going to cost a lot because of the stun condition. But by doing so too, like you're doing a lot of damage on this. So Lariat is a little bit more, from what I've seen for wrestling, there's a little bit more force behind that one, and this one hurts a lot more. Clotheslines tend to just kind of knock you on your ass, and that's it. Lariat is like a full-on cross between a clothesline and a punch, where they bring more momentum forward. That there's a good chance of actually kind of just knocking you clean out. So yeah, so I'm okay with these two being like that. Trying to think. Okay. Elbow drop. What do we want with the elbow drop? So elbow drop is where they're gonna hit a creature that's prone. Same thing with a leg drop. But we need to differentiate these effects. So what I want to do, let's look at status conditions. Okay, apparently can't do status conditions. Conditions? Deafen, exhaustion, frightened, grappled, incapacitated, invisible, paralyzed. That's terrible. Petrified, poison, prone, restrained, stunned. Trying to think. I don't know. Excuse me. So, since this is already targeting a creature that is prone, you're going to get advantage on the attack. So there isn't really anything we should be, I don't think we can add to this. From the conditions. Trying to think. Well, I'm watching clips right now wrestling. I can't show them because it'd be DMCA, but trying to just see what the after effects of an elbow drop. Like see with a leg drop. Just see if I can get like some nice difference. and how the wrestlers are supposed to sell this and react to. Because they all act the same. Dang it. Big drop up. Dang. Okay. Dang it. Trying to think. So prone. What can we do? So one thing I noticed, the body part that the leg drop hits compared to the elbow drop. Elbow drop straight up hits the sternum, hits you right in the chest. Leg drop, on the other hand, it's all on the head. So what I'm thinking, leg drop does some sort of disorienting effect until the start of the next turn. While an elbow drop, maybe just additional damage. Like, I want to look at some spells or some cantrip spell. I got some spells, man. Spell list. I want a all entire spell list. Spells. I want all the spells. What is spell? Spell. Okay. I want to start with looking at some effects from level. Cantrips. Specifically cantrips. I want to start with like some low level stuff first to see. Acid Splash. What kind of effects these guys do? Booming Blade. Booming Blade just makes it so they take additional damage if they get up and move away. Chill Touch. Hey, what's going on, Luke? Thanks for stopping by, man. Thanks for stopping by. We're just kind of looking over. I'm trying to find an effect to differentiate elbow drops and leg drops right now, because they both do very similar movements, obviously. But the big thing is, like, I want to give them different effects because they're both very signature wrestling moves. And so right now, after kind of watching some stuff on the side, they do target different body parts, even though you're kind of just dropping on top of them. So right now I'm trying to get some inspiration pulling from some cantrips and some lower level spells to see if they have any effects that I feel like fit within what I'm looking for right now. So Chill Touch, you can't regain hit points. There's nothing in that. Control Flame. Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, this was gonna be a bit of a chill one. I'm also gonna be doing a stream, so an update tomorrow too. I'm gonna be doing a stream tomorrow, still on Saturday, from starting at 1. So double stream this weekend, and then a video based off the stream for tomorrow will be uploaded by Monday. So I'm just trying some different things to kind of help my workflow a little bit better when it comes to stuff. Just like I did with the stream for my Descent into Avernus campaign, I'm going to be doing a similar thing where I turn that into an actual video with additional graphics stuff to kind of help emphasize with some of the other elements in there. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. It did pretty well. And this tomorrow's stream is going to be about, we're going to talk about flavoring the Battle Master fighter in different ways other than just being a standard warlord, and also how you can use lore from the official 5e settings to build a warlord too. So we're going to be talking about both of those things tomorrow. I had tried to just do a full-on hard video with the Battle Master. I hated how it was coming out. So instead of forcing something I didn't like and didn't want to present to you guys, I'm turning it into a live stream and just going to convert that into a video because it was a lot more fun doing it that way than what I was doing trying to do this week. So we'll probably get to see more videos like that, but I do plan on doing some harder, just no live stream based videos, also with some slightly bigger topics, as I want to get into not necessarily full on DM, but just running the game, kind of bigger topics that kind of help people in general how they run their D&D games and take different ideas elsewhere. Doesn't mean I'm not going to stop doing player stuff. It's just when player topics come up, it's still going to be through this different lens. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Hoping the first video of this kind of new style I want to do is going to be the last week of June or the first week of July. So I'm kind of not keeping that one more as a teaser because I want to kind of surprise people with that one, if anything. So yeah, doesn't mean I'm not going to do player focused stuff. I may still drop a character build here and there. Man, my eyes are itchy. Sorry. May do a character build here and there. It's just I want to do some. I want to have fun doing some of the content I'm doing too. Doing character builds at times can kind of get really boring. But I also may do a video specifically about the characters I've played and how I built them, so you guys can kind of see. I might do that as a stream, I'm not sure, but in a week or two, just so you guys can kind of see the evolution of where I started off as one thing, as mainly an optimizer gamer mentality, and then transition into more of a using the game as a vehicle to tell a story, where I'm going to be a lot more flavor based in my actions and my choices. So I'm probably going to do that in a couple weeks. Yeah, thanks, Luke. Thank you. Yeah, I know you guys enjoy them, and thank you guys for the constant support. It's just me on the creative end. It can just doing build after build after build can get monotonous, and I do want to switch it up and expand and help the channel grow a bit. So I'm hoping you guys enjoy the new stuff that I'm doing, because I want to do. So yeah. All right. So let's see. Trying to think. We want a disorienting effect for leg drop. Leg drops specifically target the head. So what I'm thinking is something super simple. And that they simply just get disadvantage on an attack until the start of our next turn. Kind of like, also I want to say like a reverse, what is it? Radiant. What is it? It's not radiant. It's a first level spell. Let me get rid of this. The first level spell for a cleric. It's a pew pew spell. I think it, man. I'm also kind of been out of playing D&D for like the last couple weeks. So we finished my campaign and then we haven't played. And then prior to finishing the campaign, we didn't play for like another 3 weeks. So we played and stopped. We stopped, played, stopped. So I think this week we're doing a session 0 to kind of get back into it. Oh, here we go. I'm dumb. Guiding bolt. So I'm thinking maybe leg drop can be guiding bolt-ish, but like reverse. So instead of everybody having advantage on the attack against them, they're disoriented, so they have disadvantage on their next attack after getting up from a leg drop, getting leg dropped. So let's... That's what I'm thinking. Thank you, Phil. Yeah. Oh man, I'm out of it. I'm completely out of it. I think after the stream I might go grab a coffee or something. I'm not sure. Okay, so like a reverse guiding bolt. That's what maybe I'm thinking. Pace without formatting. Attack a creature that is prone with an unarmed strike. You can expend momentum dice. We'll just cost it 2. I'm being very conservative on the cost of these things. If the attack hits, add the momentum dice to the attack's damage roll. The next attack roll made by the target has disadvantage. Till the start of your next turn. This sort of gives that disorienting effect. I think we've seen it with... I want to keep this up, but let me pull up Compendium again and gotta keep these multiple tabs going. I don't want Player's Handbook, but I need D&D. It's in Tasha's. The Crusher feed and stuff like that. Crusher, baby. Crusher feed's like one of my favorite feats from this. I really wish they added more weapon, like physical weapon damage type feats. Hell, I'd actually wish they add... Well, it's kind of dumb they would do it because spells already do kind of additional effects, but that would be actually pretty sick to expand on this and be like, okay, well, if you do fire damage, you get this little extra thing. So yeah, so this is what I liked. When you score a critical hit that bleeds blood, the creature are made with advantage to the start of next turn. So I'm kind of flipping it. They're disoriented, so they can't make a good, at least one good attack. Luke asking. All right. Yeah, Undertale asked this earlier too. What made you decide to make this a full class as opposed to just a fighter subclass? Also, what is the difference between each subclass in the case if I'm asking? So first question. So I'll repeat what I said earlier. It's and the reason I'm doing this as a full class. The Luchador has a lot of potential in terms of its subclasses. As a big thing, and I have it written here, is that each mask is supposed to evoke a spirit, a demon, another hero, a god. It's supposed to evoke something. So in regards to D&D, that is 100% potential to grab flavor and from any parts of the world. So again, example, as a dragon, you want to play a subclass that is inspired by the dragon. You have a dragon mask, and then that means all your moves are going to have dragon abilities. In terms of making it a class that's different from, like, that's not under the barbarian or, like you said, fighter or monk. While I've seen Homebrew and third-party supplements release luchadors under barbarian and monk specifically, my issue is that those two class chassis don't necessarily have the full flavor and support to play a luchador. So what barbarian does really well is that rage gives you advantage on strength checks, which plays into the grappling nature of grappling and slamming and of any sort of grappler wrestler. Cool. But the rest of its toolkit really just wants you to do cool ass barbarian things and smash stuff and beat the hell out of stuff with a weapon. Monks, on the other hand, are all about speed, but they will struggle to do the grappling stuff. So they get the high flyer fantasy, but they just don't do the grappling and the other athletic things that a luchador can do. A luchador pretty much is a good combination mixture of both some sort of a high flying deck acrobatic performance based class and a strength based bruiser class that needs to be put together. So for me, it's like the two classes that they fit the best in, they don't, or sort of fit the best in, they're not completely in there, which is why I thought a class that can also support the many flavors and inspirations from the real world and the D&D world fit perfect for the game, and that's why I wanted it as a separate class. And then in terms of subclasses, my ideas right now, so a lot of these subclasses are based off of actual luchadores from Mexico. And also some of them are based off of regular wrestlers from that people may know from like WWE, and also inspired by just general wrestling tropes. So it's kind of going to be a mix of everything. And then additionally, after I kind of get this core group done, I want to expand and do stuff based off of like actual D&D lores, like a Mask of Giants, a Mask of Dragons, etc. So people can get there. So that's really what it is. It's also like paying tribute to the luchador itself, and it's in pretty much its influence on wrestling. So Mask of the Silver Saint is based off of Santo, which is pretty much the main luchador in Mexico. He pretty much was the one that defined the sport and pop culture there in Mexico that spread into the US. Yeah, and then Mask of the Reaper, this is more based off of Undertaker, because Undertaker's cool as hell, and it's like an undead base power slam sort of character. Really, really based off of just like power moves. El Santo was a grappler, so it's going to be based more off of submissions, while still having some sort of holy flavor to it. Reaper is going to be more of like Undertaker. There's a lot of undead flavoring to it, but it's going to be about choke slamming, just being an overall powerhouse. And then Mask of the Pack. This is the one I'm going to be more inspired by being a pack animal, but it's also going to be team oriented. I want it to let you play a little bit into the scout role, but also kind of be like the tag team person, because you're the one that's part of the team. Mask of the Sky. This is going to be the high flyer one. This is kind of like I might change it to like a bird or something like that for this. And that's going to have you do cooler stuff while at least attempting to be in the air and hitting from the higher places. Mask of the Azure Demon. This is based off of Blue Demon, another really well-known luchador in Mexico. Pretty much the rival and then friend of Santo. And this one's going to be based off of like being a brawler. You're going to be better at just punching and striking people, but also have powers that respond to being a fiend. So that's where Blue Demon got his abilities from. And then Maskless, this is going to be my answer to the Oathbreaker. So this is we're probably going to call it Rudo, which is like bad guy. And this is your hardcore. This is a guy that's going to be using improvised weapons, your steel chairs, your all the dirty tricks. That's what this guy's going to do. And then Phil brings up something that I think actually pairs really, really nice with this guy. You added a blurb for monks that unarmed strikes can deal bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage based on what sort of strike they're doing, allowing more weapon feats. eye gouges, for example, piercing. Yeah, I could see that too with like this one working. Like you're just poking the eyes out of some guy. A little rude. Super, super rude. I can see that that works really well with monks too, because there's certain martial arts styles, especially in kung fu, that do attacks that do kind of, I think, that do use your nails and stuff at times, depending on how they strike. They strike with their palm and their hand. So that like slashing damage actually makes sense. And you would think in a fantasy setting that races that have cultures that develop martial arts styles, that have natural weapons, would develop martial arts styles that use their natural weapon. I could see that working with like tabaxi, shifters, other animal classes that have claws, that like to give them slashing damage. Mask of 1,000 Faces. This one's supposed to be inspired by Mil Máscaras, which means 1,000 masks in English, and that's his whole thing was like you try to unmask him and he always had another mask on. So this was going to be a very face-driven charisma one, or it's going to be working the crowd and willing to talk to people. For those that want to roleplay more, this is what I want that mask to be, that subclass to be. But yeah, and then eventually I want to expand into other ones, like Mask of the Titan would be pretty sick. That's inspired by giants and other like big people, big creatures, like that new giant option UA. Maybe this Luchador class will get one that lets him grow too. Because everybody's apparently getting a subclass that lets you grow. So yeah. The main ability scores for this class are going to be strength and charisma. I know a lot of folks are going to be like, well, why not dex? You're high flyer acrobatic. Why not dex? This is in large part to keep the class sad and not mad. That they're going to focus on at least 2 ability scores as much as possible, and actually a 3, because you really think about it, if you're going to go strength charisma, you're also going to need con, because you're going to be the guy up in the fight. By adding dexterity up in the mix, like the monk and, or pretty much yeah, if you want to play monk a certain way and needing adding extra ability scores to kind of do that, hurts it. Or actually the perfect example is barbarian. Barbarian is in a weird situation where they need strength, they need con, but in order to have like a solid AC, you also need dex, which gets rough. And say you want to actually have some role-playing ability with your barbarian, well, then you need a 4th stat, which is most likely a lot of people that play barbarian tend to go wisdom, because it makes a lot more sense if you're going to go more of a either a primal direction or feel like they're more like an outlander natural direction. So you see that with barbarian a lot, and you can pick wisdom, but that's 4 stats you got to do. I wanted to avoid that, and it's supported within 5th edition. So what you do with Luchador, and why it's supported in 5th edition, is all the things you want to do as a wrestler: grapple, shove, kind of get on the top rope and jump onto people. That requires strength, every single one, of all athletics. There's no dex in any of those mechanics, which tells me that the game treats that level of athleticism, those features are all strength based. They all require some level of training of physicality, meaning dexterity is not necessarily about the jumping, and it has the acrobatic angle, but it isn't necessarily the backbone that reinforces the fantasy that we're going to be actually jumping and diving and picking people up and slapping them and grappling them. So I'm able to drop dex. And then charisma, well, it makes sense. Charisma, you're working the crowd. It's part of a bigger performance. And also, since you're going to be more of a little bit more of a face, you're going to intimidate people. And luchadors have a history of going into areas and meeting with the people and being champion of the people. There's a built-in heroism in the lore, and it makes sense that, especially right here, persuasion and performance as part of its main skills you can choose from, that they would be able to do that and go in and be people person. And do you have stuff if I want to multi-class into the class? So you want to multi-class in the class, I actually have it set already right here. You need a 13 strength and 13 charisma. And then you gain weapons, improvised weapons proficiency. The improvised weapons proficiency or rules are a little bit murky because they require somebody, like the DM has discretion on whether the improvised weapon you're using would be something similar to a weapon you are proficient with. This hopefully just says no. Like, you don't even have to worry about any of that. You're just good with improvised weapons, and your level 1 features, your Lucha Libre feature just makes that improvised weapon a D6 if it's similar to the if it's not similar to a regular item. So yeah. So there's that. And then you would just get all the other stuff if you were to multi-class. Pretty much the way I see it, if you really want to multi-class and really feel full lucha, at least to get as much of the flavor as possible, you really have to take at least 2 levels into this. So you could pick up a momentum. I don't even have it listed here. And signature moves. Let me... signature moves. So you can pick those up. Trying to think elbow drop. I don't just want this to be basic additional damage. I want this to be something a little bit more. They hit the sternum. I'm wondering if there's something that can emulate like knocking somebody's air out. Trying to think if there is something that emulates that. One of the things about the fantasy of this class that I was kind of struggling with, I really wish I would have been able to make it so you get your subclass at level 1, but it's the power budget that doesn't prevent that, and then every subclass, in order for it to function, would need to have its own version of Lucha Libre to make it work. Because like having that mask fantasy right at the beginning is like super, super awesome. There's potential ways to make it so that at second level you could do it and maybe follow more of a leveling structure similar to a wizard and druid, but just as a martial. Maybe if I were to do a rework of this so you get your mask as early as possible, or the flavor of your mask. But kind of the fantasy we're playing with right now, and this is something that's very similar to other martials, is that yeah, you're your class and stuff, but it's taking you a little bit to kind of figure out your identity. I'm hoping like in future editions of DD, like 6th edition or whatever the hell comes out, that they take into consideration, if they're going to still use this subclass system, that every class should probably get their subclass at the beginning. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Phil. Thank you always, man. Thank you for your support. yeah, so hoping they do that, because that definitely would, maybe not in terms of mechanics and power and balance, but in terms of storytelling and flavor. I don't know if a lot of people, when they play the game, and those that run it and the DMs that run tables, really include, especially at the early levels, include your character and a story element to include how marshals get their features. Especially like you're playing a built-in campaign, just straight up like an official WotC campaign. Obviously, those campaigns aren't built so that you're gonna, as written, are not gonna weave in this sort of a evolution, right, of your character, especially as a marshal. At level 3, you get your subclass. It would make sense. Like, a lot of this stuff was like, oh, hey, thanks, Taryn. Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do these a little bit more regularly, at least every 2 weeks, with my Fridays I have off. So right now I was trying to figure out a difference between making sure leg drop and elbow drop are different, because they're very similar, but I'm trying to look for something written right now that embodies getting your air knocked out, and that's what elbow drop does. Like, it's hits you in your sternum and your chest, and leg drop, you're landing right on somebody's head. So hey, man, what the heck? Attack. So right now, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, but thanks for stopping by, man. Thank you. So yeah, here we go. Let's see if we can find something that feels like we're knocking somebody's air out. Because exhaustion rules are like the easiest thing to kind of look at, but I want something just like, okay, they can't breathe for like 2 seconds. Armor Agathis. Oh, that's kind of dirty. Oh, you bring that up. If the creature is concentrating on a spell, it has disadvantage on the concentration check it makes from this attack. That's kind of dirty. You think about it, it's like, yeah, this is elbow drop is a mage slayer. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Ooh. Yeah, because let's try next turn. Attacks made by the creature have disadvantage. I don't mind this one being like Mage Slayer attack. That'd actually be pretty sick. Because leg drop is keeping it pretty basic. Leg drop is just going to cause some sort of disorienting effect, so they have disadvantage on their next attack. So kind of like a reverse guiding bolt, while everybody has advantage on attacking against or on the next attack. This one is like they just have next disadvantage on their next attack. Hitting them in the head, they kind of can't see straight. Bam, there's that one. But ooh, elbow drop Mage Slayer, knock the wind out of them. I like the can't speak, because then that does still hit creatures that aren't magical, so they can't, again, relay information in combat to other enemies and stuff, to their teammates. And then again, it has the additional benefit of shutting down spellcasters. Oh, let's go, let's go. I'm liking this one. Yeah, doesn't touch innate caster or sonics. Which is... Yeah, I think that's fine, though. Like, yeah, I think that's fine, because those are kind of like those built-in things that those creatures, either like in the case of Sonics, they're trained for, or if it is an extension of their own ancestry. Makes a lot of sense. The same thing with innate spellcasting. It makes sense. That's part of you. That's second nature. This is like, oh no, you're not. Oh man, that's stupid. Hit the enemy rogue. Shut up, bro. Can I? Oh, can't speak. Start of. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm fine with this not being able to like have an answer for everything, and that's why like I know folks were telling me, well, what about range? I'm like, you ever see a luchador throw anybody? Like anything? Like I've never seen a luchador all of a sudden just bust out a gun and start capping people. Like I don't like that makes no sense. Doesn't make sense that they'd get a javelin or any of that stuff. They don't. I've never seen them. As much, the only things I've seen wrestlers do is like, okay, a spit attack, or they throw dust. But that's still like a 10-foot range. Like it's just right there. Definitely don't want to give this guy range attacks. I'd rather give him features that let them close in on people, close gaps and stuff. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to double check. The last one I saw from him was a turd sick video, and I recommend anybody watching that. It's his video discussing raw and how people use it wrong in the terminology and how they apply it. It is a very, very awesome video that kind of explains that a lot of the cheese and a lot of the things that people explain that they use to explain why they can do some of the dumb stuff they say they can do in the game isn't actually true. So yeah, that actually probably help out with the high flying class too, because I think that one's gonna be, that's high flying subclass. That's the one that's gonna probably be the one that needs to do jumping the most to get the most out of what they want to do. Excuse me. Okay, another strike is just strike. That one later. Okay, Dropkick. So, Dropkick. Excuse me. Yeah, it was so good. Like Eric Frymini's immediately before everybody started talking about it, like I think he pinged Chris Treant Monk, and then he just immediately DMs me and says, "Hey, you really need to check out this video. I think this addresses some of the frustration you have with the way people you talk about stuff." I'm like, okay, let me check. And luckily, I had a lot of time at work. It was a pretty slow week, and I was like, okay, I'm watching this, and yeah, it was a good one. It was a really good one. And I recommend everybody see it, because it's one of those things that's going to make you take a step back and really look at how we discuss D&D, which is like in regards to rules, especially for somebody like Tremont Chris, who is an optimizer. He is the optimizer, but he still does it in a way that's respectful to the actual game and doesn't intend to make it so that you're going to abuse the rules and make the game unfun for everybody at your table. And that's what I like about Trail Monk. Is just like, he understands that optimization is a weapon that must be wielded with care, and it's not something you can use to abuse and misinform and make it so that people actually make it unfun to play your game. It should be a tool, the thing that help you improve your game at times. So yeah, so definitely go check that one out. I'll probably drop the link in the description later. Dropkick. Okay, so this one we're gonna be landing on our own ass on this one. Let's put another little side. Pull Crush out. I need to see a video on what exactly Dropkick is doing to the opponent. Problem I'm watch, my feed is going to be nothing but wrestling stuff now. Okay. Dropkick. Okay. So Dropkick is going to be another ability that, like Clothesline, is meant to knock your opponents prone. Ooh, that's a first. Okay. That is a first. So you can't. Oh. It's primarily used to knock your opponents prone. But I've seen a couple moves where they use it on a prone enemy. Yeah, I don't know if I want another. Okay. I'm trying to see how we can differentiate this with Clothesline. So Clothesline, they have to make a save to be knocked prone. Lariat is like an improvement on Clothesline, where they have to make a Constitution save on this one to be knocked prone, and then that they're stunned from it because of there's so much momentum, and you actually need more distance for this. A second evolution. I'm thinking Dropkick. Every Dropkick I've seen automatically knocks the enemy prone, but you're prone as a result. So all right, so what I want this to do, regardless if this attack hits or not, it has a fail state. Or whether attack hits or not, there is a drawback to this. You're knocked prone. So automatically, it doesn't matter whether you hit or not. You're landing on your ass. Cool. But now that we're seeing the attack, thinking that, like, yeah, as long as the attack lands, you're auto prone, but you also has to be a standing creature. I know I've seen some the other ones. The other some of the videos, like, two that are examples of doing a drop kick on somebody that's on their, like, sitting down. Well, most of the time I've seen, like, they do it in the air. A lot of the ones where they caught somebody in the air and knocked them on their ass. Hmm. Maybe you have advantage in the attack if you're attacking somebody in the air because they have no way to actually dodge it. Like, if they're attacking, they're like falling or whatever, they're trying to attack you, fall in the air. Thing is, you can't replicate that. I'm trying to think. The way turn move, the only way you're going to be able to replicate that is you use it as a reaction. Hmm. Trying to think. Trying to think. How would, unless you have, but have a state where you get advantage, but I don't like that. I don't like that if we're gonna just do an auto prone on this guy, on the in your target. Trying to oh no, I'm trying to think what's going on, man. For the drop kick, because I was like, just saw a video right here on the side and was seeing the conditions for this is no matter if the attack lands or not, you're going to be knocked prone. To differentiate this from clothesline, I'm thinking that yes, as long as you hit the guy, the person's going to get knocked prone. But I'm seeing some cool stuff when they attack somebody from the air. It's just the only way I see it in combat playing out. The only way to be able to do that is if somebody's attacking you from the air, then you, as a counter attack, you can drop kick them. But that requires a reaction. And the way signature moves work right now, they don't work in a way that allows them to be used as a reaction. And just the way the game plays, I don't think that's a possibility to be able to do it, even though it'd be cool. In my experience of playing this, I've never seen or had a DM send their enemies jumping at us from a height to attack. So it's like, yeah, I have this nice little additional condition for it to happen, but and it's never gonna happen. So I'm thinking, yeah, because I'm also trying to like fit within the actual play of the game and how the rules kind of interact and stuff. Making this a little bit more simple. auto prone. When you attack a standing creature with an unarmed strike, you can expend. Since this is an auto, I'm probably gonna. I mean, 2 momentum die and the prerequisite of a setup, you can make it. Just make this attack rolls made by the target has a disadvantage. I think you're looking at leg drop. I'm looking at Dropkick right now. Yeah. Yeah, and I think with like jump-based attacking, you have like as a player, you're gonna have the utmost control in being able to do this. What I was looking at, because I saw the videos that some of the drop kicks are used obviously as a reaction to an enemy coming in and doing it. And I've played in my experience a DM that did that with their creatures. Hell, even with flying creatures, I've never had them come in and swoop in, like they just come in and swoop to attack and then fly out. Only time I've seen anything like that remotely happen is with a player with a out familiar. So it's like, dang, well, it would have been a cool fantasy to do this. It's like, it's something that's like, I don't want to just tack on and tax you for it if it's never going to actually happen. When you attack a standing creature with an unarmed strike, you can expend 3 momentum die. You are knocked prone. Yeah, okay, that's Dropkick right now. They're landing on their ass, leg drop. They're disoriented. We'll just do. I kind of want to come back to this one later. Crossbody. What the hell? What is a crossbody? All right, let's figure out what the hell crossbody is because I don't remember writing this. All right, crossbody. At the top, go for like another 30. I want to say this is just like you just kind of throw your stuff. There we go. Crossbody completely. Yep. Or you're just pinning the, like, you're, yeah, crossbody. Just throwing yourself at somebody. Kind of boring. Not evocative. What is... Okay, that's what crossbody is. Okay. This is going to be an aerial. Let's redo this. Alright, actually, I need to step to the restroom really quick, so let me be right back. Okay. Back. Alright. Okay, so do you plan on keeping the aerial strikes and slams classification in there, or are they just a design note? I think right now, they're going to be in there so that certain subclasses, at least right now, I haven't even finalized any subclasses on anything, that certain subclasses are going to be geared towards a specific style of play, or of these, get benefits for using specific moves. So that's the way I'm classifying them, like similar to kind of how the certain wizard schools can do stuff with certain classifications of their spells. That's the idea now. But really, we'll see, because I'm trying to think like, well, how can we can give them benefits to that? So I'm thinking like with aerial moves, any of them that wouldn't have them knocked prone, they're not as hurt by it as much. Maybe they can get up quicker from it. They could recover faster, something of that effect. for those that are doing strikes, maybe it costs them 1 less momentum die to do a strike to a minimum of 1, so that they can't just do free strikes all the time. Yeah, I'm trying to think like different ways, because that stems from another idea that I had originally before working with momentum, was doing a fighting style system built into the class instead of doing momentum. And that the fighting style system allows the Luchador to be built in a different way, so that the subclasses can kind of just have their own narrative weight. So that you want to be a Luchador that's a more high flyer, but you also want to use the mask of, like the Silver Saint mask, and be more of a divine wrestler. You can still do that, but then also you want to build it in a way that you're more of a brawler. You can do that too. That was the one idea. But I want to test out momentum first before doing a full rework like this. And just kind of have those things built into the identity of some of the masks. Because some of these masks are inspired by actual luchadores, and they had a certain fighting style tied to them too. So but right now it is part of it, and might just be dropped the more this gets developed though. Crossbody. Okay, so ideas I had right now while I went to the restroom. Are you like okay? So crossbody is like your iconic standard high flying move. You're just doing like a jumping off the rope, and you're hitting, like you're landing on the cross of them. You see this with all the wrestlers. They kind of have their bodies out and they just land chest to chest, stomach to stomach against them. What I'm thinking is target the attack. If you land it, they become prone and grapple. You are also considered prone because you're grappling them. You're on top of them. But if you miss the attack, you take the momentum damage instead. And you're still prone. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. Damage. Oh. I need to clear up the language for this, but so you're prone. You can expend 4 momentum die. You expand it and roll. Roll 4 momentum dice. Hey, thanks for the sub, Jacob. If the attack hits, add the momentum dice to the attack's damage roll. Okay. When you attack a standing creature with an unarmed strike, you can expand and roll 4 momentum die. If the attack hits, add the momentum dice to the attack's damage roll, and the creature is knocked prone and grappled by you. You are also prone. If the attack misses instead, you are prone and take bludgeon damage. Results of some die. Cost 4 momentum die. This one's gonna hurt. I'm gonna highlight this one to get reworded. That's the general idea. That instead you miss, you get hurt. Oh no. Dang, I might end up working more on this offline a bit tonight too. Kind of got the bug a bit back, so hopefully I can maybe work out a couple more and see, and then reorganize this a bit, because I need to look at some things like planchas. Oh, gotta figure out backbreaker, Hurricane Rana. See, we got a lot of like ideas for these. Oh, I already forgot what senton is, but yeah, the big thing. Oh, that's you hit them with your back. You're landing on their back with them like a flip. What I'm probably gonna do is just go ahead and write out all the effects for these, just to see what I do, and then just see where a lot of this stuff overlaps. So that's one of the things about a lot of these wrestling moves. They're either punishment moves or they're setup moves to get a person into being grappled or prone, and I don't want a lot of repeats at the same time, even if they do a lot of the same stuff. So I might just might cut a few and try to stick to stuff that's like way more iconic. Yeah, because I might be able to get rid of Frog Splash if I have Crossbody, so you can just reflavor your Crossbody as a Frog Splash, because it's pretty much the same thing. The only difference is the way you move your hands. Just say it's a Frog Splash. Oh wait, but Frog Splash, I think, specifically targets somebody that's prone. We'll see. Keep it on there right now. I'm gonna read up on all these. All right, I'm gonna shut down the stream now, so I can start prepping and stuff, getting things ready for dinner. Tomorrow I have a stream we're gonna be taking a look at the Battlemaster Fighter, answering questions on the class, but also mainly looking at how to flavor it outside of your standard typical warlord, and also look at some D&D lore for a lot of the official fifth edition settings to see where it fits within the realm, so you can actually draw from the setting to flavor them. If you do want to play that, a traditional warlord, you're gonna kind of get the best of both worlds. And then Monday you'll see a video from that stream, so you guys can check that out. And then after that, the following week, we're gonna be taking a look at the Total Arbor Artificer and how it is not a viable character combination, and it's sad, super sad. Again, thanks for you guys for jumping in. As long as things plan out the way they do, the next Luchador stream, it probably will be the 20th, like guaranteed for the 24th, if again around the same time. And if not, if I can do another one earlier, I will. So I'm probably going to be working on some of this offline to share and then kind of update it. So keep an eye on, if you haven't joined the Discord, go join the Discord, because you'll see stuff there. And and that's it for today. Thank you guys. I kind of got the bug back. I'm probably going to be writing some of the stuff offline too, to kind of figure out at least general ideas of what to do and get some loose translations on these to get them to look like they fit into 5th edition. Again, thank you guys. I will see you tomorrow and a new video Monday. So you guys have a good one and take care.